Hey everyone, welcome back. So today's Monday. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Obviously, no video yesterday. Was tired over the weekend. Wife's birthday party was on Saturday, so went to bed late. Didn't do much on Saturday or on Sunday. But obviously, a crazy day today in crypto. So we wanted to take a look at that. I mean, we had a 13% swing basically from the low to the top today in Bitcoin price. So we'll take a look at that. We got some CleanSpark news as well. Some Bitcoin adoption news as well, some Jim Cramer news. Well, I can say that now. Jim Cramer basically said that he thinks that Bitcoin and Ethereum are probably at the bottom right now. And you can take a look at it. It's on CNBC. Tweet from PlanB. We'll take a look at also CleanSpark, obviously, with their announced hash rate increase. So quite a few things to cover. So let's get into it here. As always, not financial advice, for entertainment only. Do your own research. Don't fall for scams, and spam posts get reported and deleted. So here's Bitcoin. Obviously, had a wild day today, basically going all the way down to, what was it today? Today was down to a low of 32,933. So it was really, really close to where I had drawn support at. And I said in the previous video, I think it was on Friday, that this descending trend line here is the one where you have to kind of watch along with our supports. And it looks like it pretty much came down to being at 30, well, the low was obviously 30, what was that? 32,933. So we came down pretty close. I had the support set at 32,757, right around there. But obviously we had our, not support, but our resistance here at 37,460. We went above it a little bit today and came back down, obviously, to finish out the day in green, which is great. But this spread here was basically like 13.5% from the bottom to the top, which is just huge. We had nice volume today, obviously, as well. And the RSI stayed below the 30 mark, so we're still in that oversold territory. What else can I point to you guys out here? I did say in the last video on Friday, I think it was, that we may come down, touch it, and then bounce, which we did, and we bounced up to our resistance now. So our hard part is going to be getting past this resistance point here at 37,500 roughly. If we get above that, I think our next resistance was going to be closer to the 40,725, somewhere around there range is going to be our next resistance. But we got to watch this carefully because we could get faked out by obviously a good day today, good day yesterday. We'll have to see if we get faked out even more. And then obviously the bears could still be in control here. They could be just faking us out. So we got to be careful of that. But otherwise, it was a good day in the crypto market overall. Ethereum was up also. Pretty much the same thing happened. It went down and went back up, but obviously closed in the red today. Going back to Bitcoin here, let's take a look at the total hash rate. So total hash rate is still up there. It's at 191 million. So it came down from its high here on the average of 198 million. So that's obviously good for the miners. Miner revenue has also probably went up a little bit today because Bitcoin price has gone up and hash rate has gone down a little bit. So those are all good things for the miners. So let's take a look at CleanSpark here. We'll take a look at CleanSpark here, and we'll take a look at the other stories here as well. So let's do that first. So here's CleanSpark. CleanSpark obviously provided that they reached 2 exahash this month. So the company today announced that its hash rate has recently exceeded 2 exahash per second, doubling over the past 3 months, which is great. It's a great achievement by them, getting that many miners installed. Hash rate, or the computing power to mine cryptocurrency, is one of the most important metrics for evaluating publicly traded Bitcoin miners because it determines how many Bitcoins a miner is producing on a regular basis, which is true. I keep saying that hash rate is basically king in here. The one with the higher hash rate going forward is going to have the higher multiple, price earnings multiple base, because investors are giving them a higher basically rating because they're going to be mining so much more Bitcoin. At 2 exahash hash rate, CleanSpark now sustainably produces around 10 Bitcoins a day and has an installed production capacity that puts it among the top of the publicly traded Northern American miners, which is true. We have more capacity coming in terms of both machines and access to additional energy, said Zach Bradford, CEO. In fact, we believe we have one of the most efficient miners in terms of hash rate per megawatt, and we are on track to maintain that, which is also true. And then here's something nice from them. They're actually going to be giving out some stuff. So given how much network difficulty is increasing, if you're not growing, you're regressing. So I agree with that. Our accelerated growth is the direct result of our team's hard work and dedication to the Bitcoin network. To celebrate the achievement, Cleanspark is giving away a series of limited edition NFTs and general admission passes to the upcoming Bitcoin 2022 conference. So if you're interested in that, follow the rules here. The giveaway runs January 31st to February 4th on Twitter. To win one of the free NFTs and passes, participants must follow Cleanspark Inc. on Twitter and correctly identify the answer to a daily Bitcoin-related trivia question. The first 2 followers to respond correctly will be gifted an NFT and conference pass. Additional details will be posted on the Cleanspark official Twitter account. So kind of cool, giving out some bling basically. If you're interested in going to obviously the conference in Miami, this is a great way to get a free ticket. All right, so let's take a look at the numbers that I have here for them. We'll take a look at the miner share in a little bit. But based on the numbers that they provided, they're over 2 exahash. I have basically given them these miner shares being installed and operating for a quarter of this month. So that's why we'll see January being 0.25, and going forward, all of these months have 1 next to them for the month time. I also give them these 320 here. They were part of this batch of 1620. I split it up to get to the 2 exahash. So this gives us 32 petahash increase here. And these are obviously at 25, a quarter of the month mining. And then we also added these down here, the 500 that were announced that are supposed to be in January 2022 at 50 petahash, also a quarter of a month. That brings us up to now. For the year, if everything stayed the same, nothing else got installed, total revenue would be 131,351,000 if Bitcoin price stays where it's at. I have Bitcoin right now at 36,520. And this is an increase of basically about 6.6 million in revenue just on the miners that they installed to get them to 2 exahash compared to where it was just a couple of days ago. So nice increase for the year, 6.6 million. And then obviously that gives me a price target for 20 multiple 75% net income from gross revenue would be a price target of around 47.54. And then if we're looking at this quarter, possibly, we're looking at the previous 3 quarters, which is 64.8 million roughly. We still don't know exactly what December is going to be like, or the 4th quarter basically. So once that data comes in, we'll have a lot more accurate number here. But I'm basically looking at previous quarter there and this new quarter, Q1, combined for basically 97 million right now, which would give us basically 75% net revenue on gross revenue and a price to earnings multiple of 20. We're looking at a stock price of 35.23, which they are way undervalued right now. And I believe the price has gone up from 640. So I do apologize, I forgot to update that. They're at 659, so they're obviously up a little bit today. So that is obviously going to change a little bit, but not much. But overall, great implementation by them, getting the miners installed, getting to 2 exahash. Obviously, this year is going to be exciting for them. They're supposed to get up to around 4.1, 4.2. With those that are announced, we'll see if they announce anything more coming in this year. But that puts them at 47%, 48% roughly installed miners right now. Hash rate per miner on average is 100 terahash, so that's good as well. All right, let's take a look at the other miners here really quick, and then we'll get into the news here. So obviously, Argo, it looks like it was down 4.76%. And that's basically because everything this morning, I mean, when you look this morning, the stock market was down, the Bitcoin was down, everything was down. These guys, before hours trading, everything was down. So it looks on the candle that it's green, but it's actually down from Friday, basically, from where it was. So it's down 4.76% from Friday. Bitfarms was down also 2.23% from Friday. Candle looks green because they started out really low this morning and ended up. Cleanspark was the only one that was up. Well, not the only one. I don't think they were the only ones, but they were up 2.97% to 659. Cores, I'm not covering them yet. I'm still doing my research on them, but they obviously started today at 582, and then they went up to 702. So 1.59% increase on that. DigiHost was up 1.3% to $3.12. DMG was down 3.67% to 51 cents. Hive was up actually 2.75% to 187. Hut was up just barely 0.56% to $5.40. And Iris Energy was down 2.82% from Friday to 931.
Marathon was up 3.83% to 2290, and then Mawson was down 7.78% to 391. Boy, they're just getting beat up even more. Riot was up barely 1% to 0.9% to 1513, which is also good to see as well. So a mixed bag on the miners here. But let's talk about some of the things that are going on here that are actually good news. So a third U.S. real estate company, Harbor, to accept Bitcoin. So a third party will handle the conversions to U.S. dollars and enable real estate purchases with Bitcoin in 4 states. This is the thing that we've been talking about here for quite a while, is adoption. We want to see adoption in Bitcoin in order for the price to go up. We've been seeing it all along of 2021. It looks like it's continuing on in 2022, which is a good sign. We want that because that is obviously what's going to drive the price up. So going back to it here, Harbor Custom Development will accept Bitcoin for its real estate properties. The company said the integration would be facilitated by a third party, which would also handle an escrow arrangement. Harbor operates in Washington, California, Texas, and Florida. Real estate development company Harbor Custom Development, Inc. will start accepting Bitcoin as payment for its listed land, developed lots, residential homes, condominiums, and apartments in 4 U.S. states, according to a Monday press release, which is really good to see, obviously. So more adoption is good news for us. Take a look at some Bitcoin short-term bounce faces resistance. So Bitcoin, obviously, we do have resistance on the chart. We look back here. We hit resistance basically at the 37,500 or so mark. We'll have to see if we can get above it. They're saying 40,000. I think we still have a ways to go before we get to 40,000. It could be in the next couple of days or so, but we got to see what they have to say here. Extreme oversold readings preceded an uptick in BTC price. And I've said this, I think it was in Friday's or Saturday's video, where we're just oversold on it, but we can still fall more depending on how the RSI behaves. So we can see here we hit our November all-time high, and ever since then we've been trading down lower. Our support zone, they're saying, is around 30,900 or so, which is pretty close to what I have. I have the support at right now of 32,800 or so, right around there. And then we'll see if we fall below that. Obviously, we'll have to see where things end up. Where is it? Right here. So here is the short-term oversold rating. I believe this is the RSI here on it, and we are oversold. Usually 30 and lower than 30 is oversold. We got pretty extreme low oversold here, which was back in March 2020. We've seen the similar RSI oversold signal. So Bitcoin returned above 35,000 after multiple oversold signals appeared on the charts. The cryptocurrency faces initial resistance at 40,000, which could limit upside over the short term. Bitcoin is up, obviously 3% over the last 24 hours. It was up from the bottom to the top of today, was up almost 13.5%. After rising from an intraday low of 33,000, while the broader crypto market has stabilized, the relative strength index, RSI, on the daily chart registered the most extreme oversold reading since March 2020. We talked about this on our Friday video, I believe it was. The previous extreme low was on November 20th, 2018, which preceded a few months of range-bound price action before a rally took place. For now, a downtrend or lower price highs since November remains intact, which means sellers could remain active at resistance levels. And that's something that I've been saying as well, so we got to keep an eye on that as well. And we also had, obviously, Jim Cramer come out and say that he thinks that Bitcoin and Ethereum are probably in the oversold territory and could possibly bounce. We also have a tweet from PlanB. So PlanB tweeted a couple of days ago, in 2016, I bought my first Bitcoin at 400. March 2019, I published the stock to flow model at 4,000 BTC. Now, January 2022, BTC dropped below 40,000 within the second band, within 2 standard deviation bands. Some are worried about current dip, but I am quite sure that BTC will add another zero in the next couple of years, embrace volatility. And we've seen this, obviously, time and time before in Bitcoin. So nothing really out of the ordinary here. It's obviously frustrating and what's the word I'm looking for? It kind of puts you in a down mood where you're kind of like, the market, right? It's going down. You feel down. The market's down. You feel a little bit depressed and things like that. But be positive. This is a long-term play. Do not. If you need to, obviously you have to sell if you need cash or something like that. But for the most part, weather this through. We will be brighter on the other side, I believe, on this, but not financial advice. Do your own research as always. I've been holding on since 2017. I plan on holding on for the foreseeable future. I don't plan on selling anything until maybe the next 5-10 years. We'll see how things play out. But if obviously Bitcoin goes up to $1 million in the next 3 years, I might be selling a little bit earlier. But that's another story. But yeah, that's it. So great job by Cleanspark on getting to 2 exahash, which is great. Nice thing to see about some more BTC being used to buy things. So obviously, the more things that you're able to buy with it, the adoption grows and everything else. So that's great to see. And then we'll just have to see how Bitcoin plays out this week. We've had a nice pump today. We'll see how obviously the next 24-hour holds. But overall, it's looking pretty good. I'm not too worried about it. I think we may come down a little bit more. I would say our bottom possibly could be at the 38,000 mark, like we did it back in, when was that? June, I think we reached it or something like that. And then we rose back up. Right now, the RSI is looking oversold. So we'll just have to see. We'll have to see if the institutions are done playing with us or not, if they've brought it down far enough where they think they can make more money on the upside now. So it's a teeter-totter, basically, with them. So that's it. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below. Love talking to you guys there. Hit the like button, subscribe, and notification bell. Helps me out. That's all I ask for you guys. And then if you guys have any questions, put it in the comments. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then,